Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Chit Chatting with Kate Carr. We're going to be chatting about the Reddit thread thrift store hauls, but before we get into that, be sure to get comfy, get cozy, get your favorite beverage. We are drinking just a nice hot black coffee mixed with some cinnamon to give it a little bit of pizzazz. Be sure to let me know what you are sipping on for today's video. I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, night, weekend, whenever you are watching this. And also, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all the YouTube things, so that way I can continue creating the content that I enjoy creating, that you enjoy consuming, that YouTube enjoys promoting, so that way we can continue building this gal pal community chit-chatting session we have over here on Chit Chattin with Kate Carr. First things first, what is your favorite place to do some thrifting, antiquing? I personally like the mixture of both, like more like antique shops, and then they have like cool finds just overall. Depends on the thrift shop too. I'm open to exploring, and finding new antique and thrift shops are just so much fun, and you can find just those like things that make you more personalized. So let me know what your favorite places to go. I mean, I get it if you do not want to, if you want to gatekeep your antique and thrift shop, I am all for that, because if you find a bunch of good finds for great prices, you're like, hey, we're keeping this one on the low. But hey, if you want to share, be sure to comment below and let's fill everybody in. I want to start off on this first submission from OP about thrift store finds, because I think it's very interesting and I would love to hear your feedback on it as well. I'll give a little bit of mine, but they're basically saying like, what's your personal workflow when you are thrifting? I'm curious about how many different people approach thrifting, not asking about prices, values, or identifying specific items, just interested in personal habits and workflows. Do you mostly rely on experience, memory, a quick mental checklist, or do you have a specific process you follow while browsing? I would love to hear how others do it. And that stuck out to me because I'm like, that really sticks out to me. I'm like, I feel like everybody approaches antiquing, thrifting in a different way. And since you asked, the way that I do it is I always have the same handful of goals in mind, but obviously I'm willing to explore. And usually the top things are anything around the Jersey Shore, Wildwood specifically. That is just a place that hits home. Anything palm tree or like beachy related. I just love living on the East Coast and obviously going through the winter. It's like anything like oceany and just like tropical just brings me at peace. That is where I'm meant to be and live, by the ocean and by palm trees. So anything of that sort that like sticks out to me, that's not like, which is hard because sometimes you can of course come across like corny things. So like my mind is like, all right, don't just like impulse buy too, because it's very, very easy of course to like impulse buy, but it's like, all right, where do I see it in places that I would love to place it? Is it a clothing item? Would I wear it? How, like, what's the material of that? So I usually go like that type of baseline, just like anything cool, like Sixers themed. Alongside any like maybe like bags or like accessories that really stick out that aren't, of course, again, like too gaudy, or like I'm like, am I really gonna wear this? So I do kind of like go through the process of like having like a checklist, and then of course anything that sticks out to me to about the people that I love that are in my life, any of their interests, because I think that's such a meaningful gift, getting somebody from something from like an antique or like thrifting shop. I think that just puts a little bit more like personalization and just like love behind it, whether it's something for a birthday or a holiday or just like kind of just an any day type of thing. So I do kind of have like a mental checklist where I go through certain things in my brain and I do spy, and I'm like, because honestly, like, those stores can obviously also be very overwhelming. Having a little checklist I think is very helpful. Anything like coffee themed that I can maybe add to like a coffee bar or anything like that too, of course. So I just kind of go through that. That's like my main thing, but of course, again, I'm open to expansion. Usually I start on the right hand of the store, and depending on how the layout is of the thrift or antique shop, I just go up and down the aisles and then go up and down the shelving. So I literally like scan. I'm literally just like a little robot. I'm just like scanning. And if anything hits the checklist that's mentally in my brain, I'm like, cool. Or if anything sticks out, again, I will grab it and kind of walk around with it until I'm like, do I actually like this, or do I want to put this back? So I just kind of go through and just like scan through the checklist, but I make sure to go like up and down every single aisle, because you don't know what is in these spaces. You can literally find gold which is kind of the purpose of why I wanted to make today's video. I am in the Reddit thread of thrift store finds because I think people can find such cool things, and also helps me get inspo for like personal things that, you know, in any type of future scenario that I'm in a thrift or antique shop, I can kind of like gauge it and kind of fill it out myself and kind of see like what's around. I do want to start getting into like more like expanding into more like just like thrift shops and like different areas and stuff like that, and maybe even like estate sales here and there, depends on like what area and stuff like that too. So just like kind of learning more about that, because you really have to be in the mindset to thrift. At least for me, like I have to be in the mindset of wanting to like go to an antique shop or going to a thrift shop and like be literally in like hunting mode. So I'm not somebody who like super frequents it, but when I do, I'm like, this is my day. We are dedicating hours to this and we are going to try and find something. So I was interested in what other people find on the Reddit thread, so let's go through them. So I was going through and just saving pictures of things that I think are just so cool, and again, like something that I might want to like try and be on the hunt for next time I go out and about. But these things are just like, wow, that's so cool about antiquing too, because it's like, maybe I can't find this, which I think is, again, the reason behind thrifting and antiquing is like, you could find one of ones and it's literally just like a conversational piece, and being able to just like talk about it excitedly, like and just like be able to ramble and rant about what it is, what I found, how I found it. And I think there's just like a lot behind antiquing. There's a lot of work behind it. And there's always a great outcome. Like it always is worth, usually, unless you walk out with nothing, which I've done a bunch of times too, where it's like, all right, well, I literally have like fume headaches and like creepy vibes. Some of these, like, sometimes I don't go down. All right, so I know this is contradictory because I know I said that I go through every single aisle. I will avoid 99% of the time any of the booths or the rows that have like dolls or like any creepy vibes, because I'm like, I don't want nothing attaching to me. It's all about like accepting what is coming, and I'm just like, nope, I do not accept anything from these bad vibes. I don't like these dolls. I don't like the like super antique-y like creepy dolls. I've never really loved the idea of like old dolls. I've always been kind of creeped out about them, but I always avoid those ones. So I will take back what I said earlier. I do avoid those types of aisles. But all these are good finds, good vibes. That's what you got to go in. You got to go in with the good vibes mindset and just like come out with the good vibes mindset, no matter kind of what it is that you find. I also want to learn more about when it comes to like, I don't really usually like thrift or antique like clothes, but I think it would be really cool to start getting into that. I just gotta like learn more about like, I don't know, just the overall of clothes. I just usually see an item and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And I don't know, I think sometimes too, it doesn't always necessarily have to, like, you know, have like a high price point backstory or a big designer or anything, but like being able to come across something that it's like, wow, this is a really good find. It's just like so rewarding, you know? I did see somebody find, 2 different people found this lamp, and I think these lamps are just so beautiful, and just like, I love a good like mystical, like fairy-esque, like just like whimsical and just like peaceful, very feminine type of look. So these 2 flower lamps I think are gorgeous, and I would love to try and find something like that to an extent. I say that because I honestly don't know exactly where I would put it, and for the most part I'm like, do I like it a lot? Yes, but also like, where would I put it? I think so I would have to like actually go through my brain and see where I would put it. Although I did find 2 of them, I do think the colorful one is a lot better, and I just wanted to save both because I'm like, all right, clearly there's multiple out there, but the pink flower one I think is just so much more majestic and just beautiful. So I thought these were so cool. Do you have one of these lamps? Do you have something similar? Let me know. This martini lamp is so cool if you have like a bar or like, you know, like a bar cart or something at home. It's just so like, it's just, again, a conversation starter, and it's just so unique looking, like having like the dirty martini olive. I would love to see a picture of it lit up. That would have been really cool. But either way, I think it's a cool conversation piece, and that it's like kind of oversized. I love this lamp. Again, let me know if you guys have anything like similar, or I found something like that. I would love to hear about just like your finding of it and what you did with it, how you placed it. Let me know your thoughts. This water canister, or whatever you want to call it, is so cool. The fact that you can just like, it's just about doing a little up level. It's like, yeah, I have my water, but like I'm gonna pour it out of this majestical, beautiful, mystical blue piece, and when you have people over, they're gonna be like, oh my gosh, where'd you get that, TJ Maxx? And you're gonna be like, no, actually I got it three counties over. It took me 15 days to actually find it. I went back and forth and I had all of these findings and I just knew that every time I saw it I needed it. So you have a story behind it too. So I love something that has a story behind it. Again, on like the lamp kind of esque of this, the like, what are they called? Like the, not fluorescent, like those little like spike things that they have in them that like light up. That gives me such like one nostalgic vibes. I feel like a lot of things in like the early 2000s had those like little, what are they called? Those light things in it. But I think the way it lights up is so cool and so beautiful. If you have this, like have it in like the corner somewhere, maybe in like your room or an office or like, you know, like a second bedroom or something. It says it's a lava lamp too, so that's even better because it literally changes different colors, different vibes, so you can really set it. And I just love the look of this, honestly, especially the last is that the last one? Yeah, the last light. Like obviously if you see like literally my branding on my covers and thumbnails, I love like the dark purple pink-esque like old like early 2000 like Lizzie McGuire type of like Hannah Montana vibes. So like that color is just so magical and beautiful. I love that color combo. Oh, it literally says right there, fiber optic. That's what it is, those little frilly things. So I think this is such a cool and unique piece. So props to OP, whoever snagged that, because that is so cool. I don't know necessarily how it's a lava lamp though. Oh wait, they passed on a lava lamp, but they pulled the trigger on this. Okay, honestly, this is a better find anyway, so you still made out with this one. If I saw this in a thrift or antique shop, I would walk past and be like, this is so cool. I would probably get it as a gift for somebody in my life, but I don't know if I would actually like buy it for myself. Although I love the idea of it, the little angel like cherub and the moon. I think it's so cute and so like just like mystical, and again like just has that like, it has a story behind it, but I just wouldn't know where I would put it. But I had to save it because I do love it overall. I'm like, this is such a cute idea for anybody who like loves like these types of like celestial type of vibe in your life. And also for $3, you literally can't beat it. That would be probably something where I'm like, it's only $3. Do I just grab it? Probably. I was scrolling past and saw this cabinet, and at first I was like, what is going on? I love the colors. I love a good pastel color. But then once they opened it, the way that like the shelves are like slotted and slanted, like it's so cool and just like different that I would immediately, again, probably for like buy it for somebody else in my life, because I wouldn't necessarily know where to put it in my own life. But I love the idea of it. The vibe of it is just so cool overall. It'd be something where I would just eyeball up and be like, how do I incorporate this into my life, where I know it's not necessarily fitting and, you know, just don't want to buy just to buy, but also it's just like, it's so cool that you wouldn't want to pass up on it either if you did walk past it. I love the title of this one. Literally, I could kiss the person who priced this, because it's a freaking KitchenAid mixer for $6. Like, that's where it shows like where the hell, like, you just gotta like hunt, seek and you shall find, basically, because where the hell are you gonna buy a KitchenAid mixer for $6? Maybe it's the older version, maybe it has a little bit of screws loose, but who cares? Literally, you can kind of tweak these things up and clean it up, and for $6 you are winning in the long run, honestly. Like, finding a KitchenAid mixer for $6, you found gold, OP. I can't lie, this one's kind of sad, but it's also beautiful at the same time. So the title of this is My Best Thrifting Friend Passed Away on Sunday, and she definitely sent me this, which is terrible. Of course, I'm sorry for your loss, OP. I know you're not watching this, but it's just like so sad, but it's also like so cool that you found this, because clearly, like, I'm assuming this is your shelving. They have like the whimsical type of like mushroom foresty vibes in the background, and they found this really cool onion holder. He does look sad, which is sad knowing the background of it, but it's such a cool find, like a little unique find to add to like your foresty little thrift store kitchen vibes. And he is like obviously sad, but overall it's an onion guy, so I love like the little unique things like that too. It's more on like the trinket end, but like this is so functional. Like, you just store your onions in there, and again, a conversational piece, and then it can go back and you can be happy memories of your thrifting friend too. So again, sad but beautiful, and it's such a cool find. He's so interesting. Also still kind of in this like whimsy flowery vibe. it's a cake stand, which again, also too with like thrifting and antiquing, I love that you can literally make one thing and just like turn it into something totally different. So you never know what you're gonna find, and then you never know like what's gonna spark the creativity in your brain to turn it into something else. But obviously this one is like perfect as is. This is literally so beautiful. This is a cake stand that's so like flowery, and just the details of it is so cool. Even like with the spatula and everything, I would love to actually have a cake stand like this. I don't normally bake cakes, but now it makes me want to bake a cake and find something whimsical like this and serve somebody a cake on this, because look how cool is this? The coloring, all of like the paint is like beautifully like done too, like nothing's chipped or anything like that too. So just the detail, it's just so, this one is a great find. This isn't an actual item, but the fact that this probably happens more often than not, but also I don't know if I'm skeptical of OP and I'm just like, did you just put this on here for like Reddit clout? I don't know. But also the fact that you might have found this is bizarre, because I'm sure people leave obviously money in things all the time. But also too, I think this is at Goodwill. So it's like people go through these things too. So it's like, that's why I'm a little bit skeptical, because like I'm sure they go through things before they put them out. Maybe they don't, I don't know. But they literally said, I found this in the bins, and it's freaking $300. Like, talk about like, thank you universe. Like, okay, I was meant to go thrifting today, thank you for funding this, and I'm gonna go get some lunch on top of that. Like, finding $300, what the hell? Like, I'm finding $5, I'd be excited, but like, what the hell? Have you ever found money like this? I'm like, let me know if you found money like this while you're thrifting, or honestly any type of money. I feel like anything is like, all right, cool, this bought my, you know, $5 thing if you did find $5 or $10 or whatever the case is. But $300 is just bizarre. Also too, when it comes to antiquing and thrifting, like, I'm really like, I feel like you can just find the best things too for so cheap. And that's when it's like, sometimes if you see something like over like $20, obviously if it's worth it, then it's worth it. But like, it's like rule of thumb type of thing in my brain. It's like, all right, we don't need this to be more than $20. Why are you pricing this for more than $20? This is unnecessary. So obviously that, take it with a grain of salt, because there's things here and there that you can literally find that are probably worth 20 times more than that. And it's like, oh, you find it for a great deal. So I'm not talking about those things, but some things are just like, they price things sometimes and I'm just like, what does this actually mean? Are you just throwing like the antique / like vintage word on it just to get like an extra $20? So some things I'm a little like skeptical about, but that's besides the point. I wanted to end on this one, the Mac and Me VHS tape. The only reason I know of this, which I'm surprised other people in the comments weren't like on this route, so let me know if you were on this route. If you are in the Drew, Curtis, Danny universe, you know exactly what Mac and Me is. This movie is so bizarre. It's literally a McDonald's ET like spin-off, rip-off type of thing. You gotta watch their video on it. I think it's Drew that does it. It's the wackiest movie, but it brings me giggles, because I'm like, I love the Danny Drew Curtis-averse, and anything they review is like chef's kiss. So that I'm gonna link it below. I'm gonna remember to link it below. Try to remember. Be sure to watch their commentary video on it. And the fact that somebody found this VHS like organically because they knew the movie, other than, you know, being in the Drew Curtis-averse, it's like, that's so funny that people out there actually knew what this movie was overall. Obviously it's like something from the 80s, it's a VHS tape, so maybe it brought some back like childhood nostalgia, but it's the fact that somebody found this and was like, oh my god, yes, one of my favorite childhood movies. People in the comments were like kind of saying that thing too, so I was like waiting for somebody to be like, I'm here from like Drew's video basically. But the fact that somebody found this in a thrift store is golden, honestly, too, because it was genuine, a genuine find. Somebody was genuinely excited to buy this, so there we have it for another Reddit Threads video. I thought this one was more fun, kind of go down what people actually can find at a thrift store, and I would love to hear your thrift story comments. So be sure to comment below your best thrift store finds, stories, anything of the sorts. Or maybe you're not a thrifter, maybe you just enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave an emoji comment of whatever beverage you chose to drink today. We're gonna be drinking the coffee, so pretend I left a coffee emoji, because I'm probably gonna forget to do that too. But a coffee emoji comment below. I would love to hear from you either way, and I appreciate you so much for watching. Be sure again to like, comment, share, subscribe, all the YouTube things, so we can continue building this gal pal community over here on Chit Chatting with Kate Carr. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!